Good morning, student. Today's topic is function in Python. So now in this lecture we will learn what is function, introduction of the function, advantage of the function, type of function, creating user defined function, function calling in program, what is argument and what is parameter, scope of the variables, default arguments, function returning value, keyword argument, args, argument, kwargs, how we can pass list as a argument, and what is function recursion with example. We learn each topic one by one. The first topic, what is function? Introduction to the function. As we know, function is a set of instructions that perform a specific task. Function may be taken as argument and manipulate the argument value in the function. Function keep back the large amount of complex code in the piece of the chunk. If I am talking, what is the function? Function is set of statements that manipulate the values inside a function, and the value that will be manipulated in the function may be passed as an argument. The main aim of the function, break down the complex code in the piece of data that will be function. So now what is the advantage of the function? We will learn after this. That will clear the advantage of the function, why it is necessary or why we are using the function inside in our program. Advantage of the function: a function is a block of reusable code to perform a specific task. As we know, reusable code means the function that is defined in the program, that function we can reuse number of time in the program. Define once and reuse number of time. So it means that block of the code you have defined one time and you use number of time. So it will reduce the line of code in the program. It make the program will be simple. So following advantage of the function in the Python: reducing the duplication of the code. Means reducing duplication of the code. If same task we want to perform number of time in the program, the main advantage of the function it is define that repeated code as a function, define one and call number of time. Means a same task, if you want to repeat, you want to perform number of time in the program, it means we have to be write the same line of the code in the program. Function facilitate define those line of the code inside in block of function once and call the function number of time in the program. Best example, library function power. Pow function is already defined. If in our program is need to calculate the power value 5 times, so we will call power function 5 times. Suppose that power function does not exist, so we will write the line of the code to calculate power, and that line we will write number of time. So it means the code will be duplicated in the program. Next is decomposing complex program into simpler pieces. Number of line will be increased if you will not use the function. So your program will be complex, unable to easily understand. Means program will be complex. So when we will use the function, define the each task in the piece block of the data, in the piece of the data, piece of the codes. So our program will be simple to easy and understand. Next is improving clarity of the code. Clearly we can know by the block of the code. Each block set of the instruction will show this block of the code performing this particular type of the task. So each block of the code will be independent and that clearly explore this set of the code performing the particular type of the task. So easily each block will be clear. Reuse of the code. Just I have explained reuse of the code. Define a function one time and use number of time in the program. The same task we can perform number of time by defining one time the function. Information hiding. The function you have defined somewhere else and you have called the function. So at the calling time, the code, line of code, set of instruction that we have written in the function, that to be hidden. Example, power function is already in the library of the Python. What are the code of the power function? We don't know. Only we are knowing how we can call, how we can use the power function, how we can use the library function. What are the coding done by the programmer to calculate the power value for the power function in the library? We don't know. It means information is hidden. Coding is hidden for the function. Users are knowing only how we can use the function. Next, type of the function. After knowing the advantage of the function, we have to know how many type of function in Python. Basically, function is two type: user defined function and built-in function, that is known as predefined function. But here in the Python, function is four type: module function, built-in function, user defined function. So three type: module function, built-in function and user defined function. Module is file that contain the set of function inside. Module is a file in the Python that contain some predefined function, that is known as a standard library function for the Python. Module is a file that contain predefined function in the Python language. So that file is known as module. If we want to use the module function, we have to import the module, and after that we can access, user can access all the functions that are defined in the module function, module library. So once again, module is a file that contains the predefined function inside any module. To import, by importing the module in the program, user can access all the functions which are defined in modules. Next is built-in function. Built-in function are predefined function in the Python. These built-in function can be accessed by the programmer. We can directly call these function in our program without defining them. For example, dir, len, abs, fact, so many library function. Each data type having its own function, just like list, some of the list function, some of the string function, some of the directory function, some of the tuple function. So those functions are already defined in Python, that are known as a built-in function. Predefined, already predefined function, built-in function make a language user friendly. If a programming language having rich library function, so that library function make languages very easy. User can only use the function and make the program very simple. So Python having rich library function, hundred predefined function is exist in Python. User can only use them and make a simple program. User defined function. User defined function, user can define our own, means programmer can define our own function for the particular task, for the particular problem. Each problem not having predefined solution. Each problem not having predefined solution means the problem that having the user and that problem not having predefined solution, predefined function in the library. So programmer will define a new function to solve the particular problem. So that will be known as user defined function. Means user will write the set of the code and make a function that will called user defined function. Now next topic is how we create the user defined function. User defined function will create by the keyword that name is def, def. Name of the function, when user will define the function, start with the def keyword. The first word will be def. As per in the bold letter here, first word is def. After that you will define the name of the function. The name of the function will be user defined name. After that parenthesis, we will pass here parameters. That will be the parameter that will be accessible inside in function. After that the statements, set of statements that you want to perform in the function. Set of one statement or set of statement, more than one statements possible inside in a function. Now I have given here 7 points that to be remembered while we will define the function. Keyword def that make the start of the function, means first word will be def. Next is a function name uniquely defined in the program. Name of the function must be unique, and we have remember some of the rules that we are using to naming for the identifier. That rule to be followed will be here also. Means naming rule for the variable, naming rule for the identifier. Same rules will be applied here. What are that rules? Name of the function must be start with alphabet, cannot be start with the digit. We cannot use a special character in the name of function. We cannot use keyword as the name of function. We cannot contain the space in the name of function. So many rules you have learned in the topic naming rule for the variable. Next, parameter argument. Parameter means arguments throughout which we pass value to a function. They are optional. Means function can take argument, may or not may. Means the parameter is optional. If you want to pass, so may pass, otherwise keep it blank, but must we use the parenthesis. Parenthesis to be there, but parameter or passing the arguments not compulsory in the function. Colon marks end of the function header. The first line def function name parameter, after that colon, that line, the first line of the function is known as function header. So colon marks function header is ending point. Comments or documents is optional inside in the function. We can use the comments to make the complex code user friendly. Comments are optional inside in function, can use or not use. One or more valid Python statements that make the function body statements must be same indentation level. Means indentation after putting 4 or 5 character. The statements make the body of the function. Body of function may contains more than one line. So more than one line, you will line in the same indentation inside in the function. Each line having same indentation inside in the function. Next, return statements. Return statements are used to return the value to the function. That is also optional. As per requirement function, we can return the value to the function or not be returned. But return statements will be as the last. After returning the value, after using return statements, the code that we will write in the function, that will be out of scope. So return statements will be last statements of the function. We will not write any line of the code after returning statements in the function, because after return statements, the code that we will write, that will be out of scope. Now next, how we will call the function? We can call the function in same way. Just we are using library function in our program. Just write the name of the function. If function is taking argument, pass the argument and you call them. So once we have defined the function, we can call it from another. Means a function can be called in another function. Function can call in another function. To call the function, be simple type the name of the function with the appropriate parameter argument. If function at the function definition time, function are taking an argument, a parameter, so we will pass argument at the function calling time. User defined function will invoke likely like any other function in the program. Just I have explained. In same way, just we are calling library function, in same way we can invoke user defined function in the program. Here I have given an example that will clear you. Def function, def add num. Def is the keyword, add num is the name of function, parenthesis open and closed, means this function not taking any argument, empty, not taking any parameter. Header function, first line header, def add num parenthesis open and closed colon. Parenthesis is empty, it means this function is not taking any parameter. After that, we have received two values from the user, fnum, yesnum. We have taken two values from the user. After that, we have add sum equal to fnum plus snum. After that, we have print the sum of fnum and snum is sum. After that, I have given a comment how we will call the function. Last line of the program, add num, only we have called add num parenthesis open and closed. We have called the name of the function with parameter. So now the output will be here. We have entered 5 for the first number, entered the second number 6. The sum of 5 and 6 is 11. Now it is output. So it is very easy to define the function and call the function in the Python in comparison of Java and C++. Really, calling the function in Java is difficult than the Python function calling. In Python, function calling is more easy than the function calling in C++ and Java. Now, we have to know argument and parameter. What is argument and what is parameter? First we have to know parameter. Parameter are passed at the function definition time. Parameter are the list that are passed at the function definition time. It means when we are defining user defined function, that time the argument that we are passing is known as parameter. Parameter, again you learn it. Parameter are the values provided in the parenthesis which are right function header. These are values required by the function to work. If there is more than one value required by the function, it work on them. All of them will be listed in the parameter list appeared in by separated by the comma. Means parameters are those lists that are passed at the function definition time. When we are creating the function, definition time means when we are creating user defined function, the argument that we have passed, that are known as parameter. Just example here, find the simple interest using function. We have defined a function def si. Si is the name of function, and we have passed here three parameter PRT, principal amount, rate and time. Return, last statement of the function, return P into R into T. Understood? P into R into T. So here PRT are the parameter for the function, because here PRT is passed at the function definition time in the header of the function. Next, argument. Just argument are those values which are passed at the function calling time. The list of argument, list of values that are passed at the function calling time is known as argument. Again listen it. Argument are values provided in the function call or invoke statements. List of arguments should be supplied in the same way as parameter are listed. Bounding the parameter argument, there should be same number and type of argument. 1.2 way remember. Function definition, parameter and argument both are closely related. In function definition, if you have passed integer type parameter, so in the function calling time we have passed the integer type argument, same type and number of type, same type. In function definition time we have passed two arguments, two parameter as integer type. So in function calling time we will pass two integer variable, two integer argument at the function calling time. Take the example, write a program using user defined function. Function name will be called calcfact to calculate and display the factorial of a number passed as argument. Here parameter and argument is there. See the example, def calcfact num. Def is keyword, that will is first word for the function definition. Calcdef is the name of function. Num taking the parameter, passing parameter, colon, header end. Fact is equal to 1. For I in range num 0 in minus 1. Num to 0. Range num to 0 means if we will pass the 5 to 1, 1 less. You knowing it, range function return range value between starting and end, not including end. in step -1. So if you have passed 5, to 5 to 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Fact is equal to fact into I. Fact will be, fact is 1. So 1 into 5 is equal to 5. Fact is having 5. Fact, then I will be 4 in -1 period. So 5 into 4 is equal to 20. Then I will be 3. So 20 into 3 is equal to 60. Then I will be 2. So fact will be 60. 60 into 2 is equal to 120. Then I will be 1. 120 into 1 is equal to 120. It means last result of the fact will be 120. Inside in the function, after loop, outside of the loop, we have print the factorial value. Function is in here. Last line of the function is print statement. Okay. Then we have called the function. We have called the function while is equal to, we have taken a variable while is equal to int input, enter the number. Suppose that we have entered 5. While will take 5, and while is as a argument, while we have passed as a argument to the function calc. Now the value of while is to be copied into num. See here, closely related. Here while taken integer value, the value of while will be copied into num, and num will access value of while and calculate the factorial and print it. In this way, parameter and argument both are closely related. Understand? Okay. Next, scope of a variable. Scope of a variable define the scope or area of the function where the particular variable is accessible or not. Block of the code where the particular variable is accessible or not. Every variable has well-defined accessibility. The part of the program where the variable is accessible can be defined as the scope of the variable. Means if you have defined the variable, so each variable having its own scope. In this block, this variable is accessible only in this block or out of this block. So that scope is known as scope of a variable. So we have 4 types of the scope of variable: global variable, local variable, built-in variable, and instance variable. Global variable are that variable that define outside of any function or any block, known as a global variable. Means any variable that define outside all block of the code, not having its own any area, not having any particular block, outside of all blocks of the code or of the program, that variable will be global variable. So global variable will be accessible inside whole program, anywhere. That is known as a global. So global variable accessed in any function defined in onward. After that, suppose that you have defined a variable, after that you have defined the function, then define the function, then define the function, then define the function. Means the first line you have defined a variable, so that variable will be accessible to the all by the all function in the program. Local variable, if a variable define inside in a function, a block of the code, if a variable define inside in any function, in body of the function, that variable will be known as local variable. Means that variable cannot be accessible outside of the function. Just like I want to show the example once again here. See here, second line, fact. is equal to 1. Here fact is a local variable. Fact is equal to 1. We have defined a variable fact. So fact is a local variable, cannot be accessible outside of the function. Now, built-in variable. Some of the variable are predefined in a Python, in a language. Built-in function means the variable, those are predefined in language known as built-in function, and that will be accessed anywhere in the program, because that are global, that are already defined in a language in the library. So those are the anywhere accessible in the program. Instance variable. Instance variable are those variables which are defined in a class, inside in a class. That variable will be instance variable. So instance variable, when you will call the class, the instance variable automatically call with the class. So next one another, once again, instance variable are defined inside in the class. So inside in the class means that scope will be only inside in the class, cannot be outside of the class. And when we call any class in the program, instance variable automatically called with the function. Next, default argument. Default argument is a parameter that assumes the default value if the value is not provided by the user or programmer. The default value will be copied, default value will be accepted. Once again, default argument is a parameter that assumes a default value if a value is not provided in the function calling time, that argument, that default value will be accepted for the as a argument. Now take the example here. We have defined a function sum range. Here we have passed 3 parameter, first, last and step is equal to 1. First, last and step is equal to 1. So step having a default value, that will be 1. Step is assigned 1. So step is having a default value, that is 1. Now next line, total is equal to 0, control is equal to first, while control is less than or equal to last, then total is equal to total plus CTR, CTR is equal to CTR plus equal to step. After calculating total value, return the total. Return statement is the last statement of the function, as I have explained. Now we have called the function sum range. X is equal to sum range 1 comma 10. So here 1 and 10 is the argument. 1 is copied into first, 10 is copied into last, and we have not assigned a third value for the step. So in this line, by default, step will accept first. So 1 to 10 is to be calculated. 1 to 10 is to be calculated. The output will be 10. And print x, 10 is printed. Now x is equal to sum range. We have passed all the 3 argument here. Sum range 2 comma 100 comma 2. 2 is copied into first, 2 is copied into 100, 2 is copied into first, 100 is copied into last, and 2 is copied into step. Now the step will be accepted argument 2. On behalf of step 2 is to be calculate total. So that output will be 100. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. How many time? Control is less than or equal to last. So last is 100 and control having already 2. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, 6 plus 2 is equal to 8, 8 plus 2 is equal to 10, like that and so on. 98 plus 2 is equal to 100. After that total will not calculate. So last value will be 100. Now in last, how we have called the function, you have learned it. So default argument are those values which are by default accepted if value is not provided at the function calling time. Next, function returning value. How we can return the value to the function? You have learned it in previous so many programs. So now once again, a function may or not may return value, not compulsory. As per requirement, we can write return statements. A function may or not may return the value when called. The return statements are the value from the function. For example, write a program using user-defined function that accepts the length, breadth of a rectangle and return the area and perimeter. Area and perimeter of the rectangle. In this, I make the difference. We can return two values to the function. In this program, once again see, in this program we have written only one value, return total. Only one value is returning to the function. But in this program we have written two values by using return statements. So we can return two or more value to the function also. See the function def calc area peri. Function name is calc area peri. We have passed two parameter, length and breadth. Area is equal to length into breadth. Perimeter is equal to 2 into length plus breadth. Now we have returned this line. I make a blue to make understand. Return area comma perimeter. Area comma perimeter. It means when we will call calc area, the first value will be area of rectangle and second value will be perimeter in the same way. Now we are going to call the function. L is equal to float, input the length of the function, float input, enter the breadth of the rectangle. Both values we have taken from the user. Now AR comma PR, see this line, AR comma PR. Here we have taken two variables, AR that will store the area of rectangle and PR will store the perimeter of the function, perimeter of the rectangle that is written by the function. Calc area L comma B. L comma B as a argument is here, that to be copied into length and breadth. The function will calculate area of rectangle and perimeter of the rectangle. Now in the same way, the first value that we have written in the return statement is area and then perimeter. In the same way, value will be passed to the returned. Area will be in AR and perimeter will be in PR. Now we have printed the value. Print area is AR, perimeter is PR. Now keyword argument. Keyword argument means if we are passing the argument with parameter name. No need to learn the sequence of parameter. Passing the argument, assigning the argument with the name of parameter. No need to maintain the order. See the example. Def display name comma age comma sex. Print name is name. Print age is age. Print sex is sex. Def main, another function we have defined, and we are going to call the display function inside in def main function. Display others. Others is to be copied into name. Age is copied into age is equal to 18 and sex is equal to male. So here others will be copied into automatically in the name. 18, age is equal to 18, we have assign age is equal to 18 and sex is equal to male. So it will print name is others, age is 18, sex is male. Now see the last line of the program. Here keyword argument. In this way, order, no need to maintain the order of argument. Age is equal to 17, we have first assigned the age, then name, then sex. If we are passing the argument to assign the particular parameter, no need to maintain the order. Argument args. In parameter, if we have used keyword asterisk args, if we have used the asterisk keyword before the means parameter prefix with the asterisk keyword, function will know the argument will be as a tuple. Means if we have used asterisk keyword, asterisk character before the name of parameter, the program will assume the argument that will be passed to the function that will be as a tuple. Clear? For example, def my function, name of the function is my function. Here we have passed parameter asterisk kids, asterisk kids. So it means kids asterisk. Here the argument that will be passed at the function calling time, that will be as a tuple type. That will be as a tuple type. See here, print the youngest child is plus kids of 2. Means print the value that is present at the second index. Now last line, we have called the function my function Emil comma Tobias comma Linus. 0 1 2, Emil is 0 index, Emil is present as 0 index, Tobias is 1 and Linus is at the second index. So the output will be Linus. The youngest child is Linus. Understood it? So here see the function calling time, we have passed the tuples value more than one argument. Next, argument using double asterisk kwargs. Means if we are using double asterisk before the name of parameter, it to be accepted as a dictionary to the function. It means it confirm at the function calling time, the argument that will be passed, the argument will be as a dictionary type. if you don't know how many keyword argument that we will pass in your function, add 2 asterisk before the parameter name in the function definition. In this way, function will receive a dictionary of argument. What will accept? The function will receive a dictionary of argument and can access item accordingly to the. In the same way, the dictionary will be accessible. See the example. Def my function double asterisk kid. It means kid will be as a dictionary type. Print his last name is kid of last name. Last name is key value. Last name is key value. Function, my function, we have called the function. Here function calling time, last line is function calling time. My function, f name is equal to, so base last name is equal to ref name. So here output will be his last name is reference. Understood? Okay. How we can pass the list as an argument? Here you have seen how we can pass tuple as list, tuple as argument, how we can pass the dictionary as argument to the function. You have learned how we can pass the number as an argument. In the same way, you can pass string as argument to the function. The string value must be enclosed into double inverted comma. Now we are going to learn list as an argument. You can send any data type of argument to the function. Same way, string, we can pass string, number, list, dictionary, tuple, and so on. Example, if you need to send list as an argument, it will still be a list when it to reach the function. Def my function food. My function food. For x in food, print x. Now see here, outside of the function, we have defined a list. Fruit is equal to apple, banana, cherry. In the function calling time, my function, we have passed fruit as a argument. So fruit will be treated as a list to the function. It will print all elements of the list as per the function loop. For x in food, so food is as a list type, print x. At the function calling time, here we have passed fruit. Fruit is having 3 elements, apple, banana, and cherry. So now the program will print apple, banana, cherry. Next, recursion. Function recursion is most important topic. Function recursion means calling the function itself inside in function is known as function recursion. Calling the function itself inside in function known as function recursion. It means if a function is calling, function called itself in the body of function is called function recursion. Python also having the feature function recursion. In C is also having function recursion. Now once again, recursion is common mathematical and programming concept. It means that a function call itself. This has the benefit of meaning that you can loop throughout data to reach the result. Means without result, without loop, we can reach to the data. Just example, we have used a function recursion example. This recursive function to find the factorial of an integer, calculate the factorial without using loop. We have not used any loop in the program, please see here. But the factorial value will be calculated by calling the function recursion, by using only if. Def cal factorial x. So whatever it will be pass here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything. X, if x is equal to 1, if x is equal to 1, return 1. Else means if x is greater than 1, then what? Else condition will be false, that is to become here else. Return x into calc function minus 1. So take the example, suppose that you have passed 4. We have passed 4 at the function calling time. Now x is 4, x is greater than 1. So condition will be false. Then it to become true else. Return x into calc x minus 1. X is 4. 4 into x minus 1, that to be 3. Same way. Then 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 means here to multiplication 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, calling the function itself until the x will not 1. When the x will be 1 or 0, condition will be true, it to be written 1. So now here we have last line, please see here, else x into calc factorial x minus 1. So x is calling itself x minus 1, 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So 4 into 3, 4 into 3, then 2, then 1. So it to be multiplied, 4 into 3 is 12. 12 into 2 is 24, and 24, now 1 will be 24 into 1 is equal to 24. So it is function recursion. The end. Thank you. Please subscribe this channel. You will get the notification when I will upload a new lecture, a new video for the Python, and that will be very soon. Thank you.